Shall we begin?
Jesus, what are you doing, Sony? Oh, my God. When it comes to cinematic masterpieces, nothing is going to come to your mind more than Madame Web. That's right, I'm here to tell you that Madame Web is going to be an Oscar-winning, Golden Globe-winning, all-around masterpiece of cinematic hypocrisy that no one on this earth could ever dream of. And when I tell you this, I'm absolutely lying to you. This movie is a complete dumpster fire. But how did we get here? How did we start from this cinematic masterpiece of Madame Web only to come before us from the Sony universe of Venom? Tom Hardy elicited his best performance that he could. All you can really say about the guy is that he loved playing the character and ultimately wanted to pick it out because his son was such a huge fan of it. How can you blame the guy? But then you're going to go into an even deeper pile of dumpster garbage when you look at the movie of Morbius. When I tell you it's Morbin time, it is Morbin time. One of the ultimate pieces of hypocrisy that somebody could ever possibly dream of is coming from that performance of the great Oscar award-winning, all-around freak of nature Jared Leto. But Mr. Sinister, I hear you say, how can you talk so poorly about one of the best movies that was ever made? Well, it's easy. It sucks. But thankfully, viewers, we now have the golden key. That's right, we have the key to the castle, the Krabby Patty secret formula that you all have been dying for that is going to save Morbius and Venom, Madame Web. I hate to disappoint everybody, but the Sydney Sweeney you thought you were going to get is not going to be the one that you want. Hey, Sony, here's an idea.
Are you serious?
So let's just dive into the beginning of this movie. You're going to take a very young Sydney Sweeney who's still in her mother's womb, who decides to do the smart thing as Mother of the Year and just go to an African jungle. It's not going to be since she's even in the jungle that she decides to bring, just a very heavily pregnant woman with full of spiders, very poisonous creatures, and pretty much anything else that could kill you. You go, Mom. Girl boss of the year, that's for sure. Oh my goodness. If you think things just couldn't get any better or worse for this movie, you have to really look at the grand scheme of things when you look at the parts of where you think you're going to be getting a superhero movie, when in fact, no. You're just going to get a bunch of feminine girl bossies, and they're going to be deciding that they have visions and flashbacks and superhero suits as what they're only going to play in the movie. Well, I guess you can explain everything, because that's going to make a ton of sense when you realize that even Dakota Johnson decided to fire her own agent a week after the trailer dropped. It wasn't even a week. It was the next day. And you can't even blame the woman for this. After she's only been into having flashbacks and visions of what she thinks is going to be. Oh, but no, when you just think things cannot get even worse for this movie, you're going to look and realize that the main antagonist of this movie is not even going to have any Spider-Man really related issues. You think just because he's dressed in a spider suit, it's going to be a Spider-Man film. Well, my dear sinners, I'm here to tell you that that is not going to be the case at all. That's not even going to be relevant in this movie, because he gets flashbacks of the spider women that are going to be trying to kill him, which only becomes in his visions. Yeah, a movie that's only going to be premeditated on visions alone. But when you look at everything that we used to have, even with the Sydney Sweeney, which everyone knew that we wanted, compared to the great work of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, you can see that everything they just tried did not work. And when I say it did not work, you even look at the ending. When you look at the main antagonist that got killed by a giant Pepsi sign. No, and I wish I could say I was kidding on this one, my dear little sinners, but not even God could protect you from the possible nightmare that you're going to see with this movie. But when you look at everything that we thought we could accomplish with all these works of art and these masterpieces from the Sony universe, what do we have to look forward to now? If you were going to say Kraven the Hunter, that's for some reason going to be rated R, well, you're in luck. Okay, Aaron Taylor Johnson, this is your opportunity, but let's face it, we know why the ladies are going to be checking into that movie. This movie is just a complete abomination of everything going together. The only golden goose that Sony has at this point is the hope that the next Spider-Man movie knocks it out of the park when they come back and they're able to fix these legal rights, issues, and obligations. And maybe, just maybe, they might be able to gounder a few crumbs and actually save this dying, dead dumpster fire of a universe. I'm not going to hold my breath at this point. All in all, this movie is a massive sin, and it just needs to burn. I do gotta say thank you to everybody who did take the opportunity to watch this dumpster fire of a movie and watch this dumpster fire of a first video. Still gotta get the hang of this thing, so any comments you guys have, go ahead and drop them low in the comment section, and I will talk to you guys on the next video, and let me know what you guys want to see next.